And good morning to you. Welcome inside the bottom line. 8:03, we're running late, but guess what? We're here. That's the important part. And you're there, and that's the other important part. And glad to have you with us here on a Thursday. Just about fit. Can you believe we're in week number 4 of high school football?
It's awesome.
Week number 4.
It's fantastic.
Big game in the 3A world this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
As I think, is it at East or Hickory? I think it's at Hickory.
I thought it was at East.
Maybe.
Let me look right quick. Keever sent it out.
Yep, and I got it too, and I couldn't remember.
Look. It's right here. You go ahead and I'll find it up.
Okay, thank you very much.
I don't want to
mess you up.
No, I don't want to hold you up.
I don't want to mess you up.
I don't want to hold you up.
I don't want to mess you up. Oh, goodness. I am liking the weather a lot better. I know that when you look at the forecast that's out there, there's not but just in the next 10 days, a couple Richie says it's at Hickory. Bob says it's at Hickory. Thank you, guys.
At Hickory.
There's only a couple days in the next 10 days that we're even in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we have seen the last of the 90-degree weather. We'll find out. It's 78 today, 76 tomorrow, 81 Saturday. Sunday's 77, 50% chance of storms. Monday is 79, Tuesday 79, Wednesday 77, Thursday 75. Next Friday is 77, and next Saturday is 78. Now, the only problem I have with the weather just a little bit, only a couple of those days do we drop just barely into the 50s. I like those mid-upper 70s and low-mid 50s.
Yeah,
that's the ideal day. It's a little crisp in the morning when you come out.
Yeah, I like that.
And I like that a little bit better. But needless to say, I'll take it. Let's see. Football's on tonight. And just in case anybody's wondering.
I think this is week 5 of high school football. When you had said that, because we had an open week and
that's right, played 3 in an open.
So it's going on. We've completed 4.
Wow,
going to week 5.
That's even worse.
It's like halfway. Halfway.
That's even worse.
You're at that. After this week, you'll be at that.
Holy crap.
Tipping point.
That's not good. It's like
crazy.
The NFL and everything else. You look so forward to it, wait on it with such anticipation, and then before you know it, it's gone. Yeah. But anyway, I'll savor and enjoy every moment of it because I really like football.
It's like Burt Waycaster said. It'll pass by you like a stranger in the crowd.
That's correct. Yeah. Richie Hauser, how about those Braves? 6-game winning streak did I see last night, Richie?
They're on fire.
And here's the thing for you, and I know you won, big Freddie Freeman fan.
Oh, yeah.
The kid they brought in
has been incredible.
51 home runs.
He's been incredible.
He stands to break the single-season home run record for the Braves.
Set by, I believe, Andrew.
Andrew Jones.
Sure.
I heard that yesterday. And here everybody was upset, and he's hitting 280-something, I believe.
That's fantastic.
Freddie is hitting like almost 340.
Freddie's killing it.
But only 26 home runs on the year. So what would you rather have?
Well, I don't know because everything has to do with everything else instead of what you do in those two categories. Because if you have other people on the team that hit, I say other people like 1 or 2 other guys that may hit similar home runs, or you have one that hits a lot, then that average, depending on where you are, makes a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're the guy that hits the tanks, then –
attaboy, Andrew, both. Nice. Don't be greedy or anything.
But, if you're the guy that, hits all the tanks, then the lower average is that's expected.
Let me I'll catch your comment, Bob, and then I want to tell folks something that you might want to participate in because I'm going to participate in this, Bob. Hickory is also honoring last coach, I think he meant late coach Larry Whittenberg.
Yeah, Coach Whittenberg, yeah.
Larry Whittenberg, and Coach Ronnie Hopper by naming the track for them.
Their track. Yeah.
Now, there's a big 50-50 raffle. This is almost like, what's the big game up in the mountains that has the big
Tuscola and
Smoky Mountain?
No, Tuscola and Pisgah.
Pisgah.
That's a
the current total in Hickory, $95,000.
What are you talking about?
50-50 raffle.
For
this is going to go this Friday night.
Have they been doing accumulation each week?
Well, and they do it online. Kings Mountain did one like that not too long ago, and it was 50-some thousand. Bob says it expected to be over $100K when the ticket's drawn. My question, Bob, is how do I get into that, and do I have to be there to win? That's my question.
And do you want my cell number in case I do win?
There you go. I'll need an investor. Lincoln Pauley says he thinks the Braves have 5 guys with 20 or more home runs on the season. That's pretty impressive, too.
That's
the
really
Braves,
good.
If that's the case, and I don't know the records, but the Braves could have the opportunity to set the single-season team home run record. That's a lot of people. That's half your lineup with home runs with 20-plus home runs.
That's a lot of tanks, man.
Yeah. Richie said it's a 2 or 3 game streak right now. They dropped one of the doubleheader games.
That's
okay.
right. That's right.
Were. I thought they were. They did do a 6, maybe over the weekend or something.
They won. That's right.
Adam McCall says Coach Whittenberg was, hey, diddle, diddle, we're running up the middle. That's the kind of coach I like. Said one of his favorite coaches. That's what Adam said. Richie said there's 7 guys with 20-plus home runs on the Braves.
Now, Coach Whittenberg coached Adam at Fred T. Ford because when Alan and I are close to the same age, and his son Alan, who is a great guy, who was the head coach at Hickory for a year or two, at one time, and played at Hickory for his dad. I played against Alan in high school when Hickory was in East Burke in the Northwestern 4A. And Coach Whittenberg, this is 96. And I believe Mike McCree was the head coach. I believe that's right. No. It could have been no, it wasn't Coach McCree. Well, it may have been. I just remember well, anyway, but Coach Whittenberg came over to help, and Alan was working at the high school. He got a job that summer when Coach Revis left and taught social studies, and then Coach Whittenberg, Alan came over, or Larry Whittenberg, the elder, came over to help Alan. Yeah,
let me give you a couple of things here. Lincoln said that the Braves have 282 home runs as a team. Okay, now let me give you this: the Major League Baseball season record for home runs were set in 2019. Okay, by the Twins with 304. The Braves could possibly reach that.
They're going to be close.
That's 25. They're 25 away.
Yeah, they're going to be close.
They broke the single-season record of 267, which had 4 teams at 267, including the Yankees.
Right.
The Twins ended up on top of the list in 19 with 307, and the Bronx Bombers had 306.
306.
Yeah, so there you go.
I would expect New York. I know this sounds crazy, but I expect New York with the way, and I'm talking about the Yankees, with the way that players are. I hate to say this, but it's probably true. The way that they're bought, contracted in and gone out, and gotten, right, that you would think that with the dynamics of some of the fields in the AL, that those totals would be close as well, especially, with the pesky pole and things like that, in Boston and so
some of the obscure parks.
Yeah, which are that's what I like about baseball is. You've got kind of rules for dimensions, but if your park is older, it's got that specific.
Is there any type of rule for outfield length? Maybe a minimum has to be.
They say there are, but most of them are just suggestions.
Okay.
And most
because really the only rules you have are the dimensions of the diamond.
Right, on the inside. And that's why you have some fields like at Bunker Hill that have a very short right field that have a very high fence. I know when I was at Avery County, we had to rebuild the field. Home plate was about 3 feet from the backstop. It's like, yeah, the umpire was calling a game from behind the fence. I was like, I don't think that's too good. So I got him inside the park, and we moved the home plate up, and it made right field about 272, and left field, that's not right, 282, and left field 291. But I put up the best I could do, 10-foot high fence all the way around. Now, center field was about 7,482 feet. So,
dead ahead.
Yeah, but, of course, that was the practice football field at that time. And, they worked on some soccer. And that's before they turfed all those things up there. Now, Avery County, and this has been going on for almost close to 18, 20 years. They turfed their football field, and they turfed the infield of the baseball field, all right? And they turfed the softball field. Drastic dynamic difference to be able to practice.
Yeah. Well, there's very few mountain county schools that don't have it. I mean, Buncombe County did all of their schools
I was there
years
when they did.
ago.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, and they timed it where they decided to go in with Asheville City as well and get all 6 fields done. And what was interesting is they looked at it as an investment instead of an expense, and they did this back in 2005. All right. It has been an investment ever since.
Yeah.
It's not been an expense.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is we hit a drought from 7 to about 10, but it was really bad in 7 and 8. And they saved somebody was telling me it's like $10 million in fertilizer, water irrigation, diesel
over that time period
to mow every day. Yeah. So how do you
not counting the additional usage you get out of it?
My favorite thing is in government with some people. They'll spend money in other areas, or they call it investment. We can't spend that kind of money when kids don't have textbooks.
Most schools have gotten away from textbooks and don't even use them. They hand them an iPad, they hand them a Chromebook.
But you see what I'm saying, right? So I think, looking at it as an investment into the overall experience of, the individual student, athlete, but also in the community. Because now you have a rallying point where unless it's thunder and lightning, I say that. We have a lot of games that are canceled because of rain. But
well, depending.
Okay, but now you've got, a place where your soccer team, lacrosse if you have it, football, band, track track, baseball and softball, if their fields
at least go practice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So all this time that's lost due to, I'm sorry, it's raining today, or you don't have to worry about it. Go.
Thank you, Bob. How about posting that link, if you don't mind, online? Said you need to get tickets today for the Hickory game by lunchtime. You don't have to be present to win. Crest has one going this year. Theirs is $157,000. They did over $100,000 last year. I knew they did.
It's a lottery. It's a lottery. Hey, maybe they won't be selling those cards anymore.
He said St. Stephen's has begun one with the same company, and their drawing is going to be in January. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm glad,
Let me no, Lindsay, Rembert is not dressed up for the baby shower next week, and he will not be present at the baby shower, and because he will be at a football game, and I won't be at that football game because I will be at the baby shower. So just in case you're keeping score.
And that's next Saturday a week.
23rd.
Yeah, so you're
week from tomorrow.
You missed the Battle of Bunker Hill.
The Battle of Bunker Hill.
Your old stomping grounds.
In case you didn't notice, there's the shirts. Your staff shirts are right there.
Whoa.
I got to get the other colors. They're coming in today, but I'll have them by Monday. So everybody had a black set and a royal set.
What does it say on the back? Do your job.
My head coach didn't tell me he wanted anything.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
What I like is 3 yards. I want you to put 3 yards on the back and then have a big cloud of dust.
Okay. Arcia and Harris are the only two that aren't at 20 for the Braves. They're at 17 and 16,
and that's still
respectively.
And that's still great. Respectively is right. And, that's good.
Lindsay said they started watching Welcome to Wrexham, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McKinney by a Welsh soccer team, a very poor Welsh soccer team because I've seen the trailers. Mm-hmm. While I didn't know any more about soccer than when I started, it's entertaining. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Link says those mountain teams have some horrible fields for years, and they needed the turf. Oh, yeah. One quick – let me give you something, and I don't know if this is unusual, but I'm sure you've been to Swananoa Owen.
Oh, yeah.
Swananoa Owen does not have a press box. the press box is on the top row of the gym, which is on the end of the school, and the bleachers were built up to the gym, and the working press box is inside the gym.
I think since they turfed the fields, that has changed. Is that right?
I don't know.
When they Buncombe County turf, because they're in Buncombe.
Yes.
But who said that about the fields being bad? Was it Link or
Link? Yeah.
Yeah. So Link's right. So Pisgah, even again, because their field sits down in the floodplain, even though they turfed it, that thing got flooded out, and they had to spend a year getting it done. But I'm going to tell you that the Pisgah and Tuscola game in its heyday, East Burke Freedom, it's like the Maiden Bandy.
It's like Hunter Huss Ashbrook.
Well, right. Maiden Bandies is kind of a miniature.
Concord. Yeah.
And I don't mean to diminish the game. I'm talking about the crowd size. Is a miniature form of Fat Friday. And Fat Friday was literally either equal to or step even down from the Pisgah-Tuscola game.
Well, for so long, Fat Friday there were only 2 high schools in the county. So that makes a difference.
I played in. Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. I played in front of, I think it was like 15,000 people.
Richie said there's a baseball field in Oklahoma, thinks it's a high school field. Center field connects to the football field. There isn't a fence separating the baseball field from the football field, so that makes center field about 600 feet.
I got you.
My wife said you could win all day. I not said that, but yeah, you're even going to see one that says Maiden Staff on it, okay? She said, I can't wait to see my hubby in those Maiden blue coaching shirts.
You're wearing black, though.
Woo! I am. I'll have a blue one, but yeah. Milton said baseball practice always started in the gym, or baseball practice in the gym was a pain. Richie said he recorded the first episode of Wrexham last night. My daughter Lindsay's not happy about the Maiden blue shirts. We're diehard Rebels. I mean,
that's okay.
Come on.
Oh, hey, I understand that.
You can take the boy out of West Lincoln, but you can't take West Lincoln out of the boy. Like back in a moment. Thing. Back.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
And welcome back. We just solved a number of issues and problems right there with school fundraisers.
Yeah, I feel a lot better about everything.
I do.
Everything.
I feel much better. I feel much better.
It's amazing how when you look at it, in things like and say, okay, this is the lottery that we're doing. I say lottery, the 50-50 that we're doing, and I'm just giving an example and say these are the things that it is going towards. These are the things that we have. It's amazing how much more money flows into those things than confiscating money that people work for and then deciding how it works out. Wow, what an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah.
Richie said that's the truth. He said, I get some strange looks down here in Greenwood when I talk about West and where it's located and who we are. Well, let me give you one better than that, Richie. How about me when I went to Clemson, I only knew of one Carolina, and they weren't garnet and black.
Exactly.
But when you cross the border, there's only one Carolina down there. And I would always talk about, I got a friend that goes to Carolina and plays. I've never seen her name on the roster, but North Carolina. Oh, they don't even recognize it. No. And that's the difference, in a 2.5-hour drive.
Well, we go to family reunion down in Rembert, which is right there near Columbia and Sumter.
Yep.
When they say, well, Carolina's playing today, I'm like, or Carolina's playing at noon. I'm like, no, they're playing at 5. They're like, no.
Yeah.
Carolina, or their South Carolina accent, Carolina is playing at noon.
Yeah.
Got it.
Let's see what else I got here.
So how do you feel about or think, what do you think, because nobody really cares how we feel, what do you think about Rodgers going down and then Zach Wilson, coming in? What did you think about Wilson?
Well, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and kind of what it was. I think he's matured.
Oh yeah,
I think expectations were way too high.
Amen again.
And you only have a limited amount of what I call great quarterbacks. So if you've got a quarterback that's a really good quarterback, they need to have pieces around them if they're good managers. Like one of the things they were talking about yesterday, they were talking about, okay, they need to bring in a backup because Aaron's gone. So they need to bring a backup. They bring a veteran in. They were going through a list, okay, and some of the names that came up, these were veteran quarterbacks, like a Jameis Winston. Oh, you can't bring him in because he can't take care of the ball. He takes too many chances, takes too many risks.
I don't think that's why you bring him in.
So you got to bring in a quarterback that won't put you in a hole if they have to go in, because the chances are a backup's going to play some during the season.
I think for Zach Wilson, the best thing that's happened to him is having Aaron Rodgers come in, because now he's learned how that a pro prepares instead of throwing him in and expecting him to learn on his own.
Yep.
So it's like a mentorship. So my thing is, if I'm the Jets, I heavily consider trading for Andy Dalton. And you say, well, why would you do that? It's not for Andy Dalton to play. It's for Andy Dalton to help show Zach Wilson how to prepare. Because if Andy Dalton has to play, you're not going to – and no take on him. We just get older and the skill set's less. I don't mean any disrespect to him, because I think he's done a great job. It's not what I mean. But if you're waiting on Andy Dalton to come in and play and fill a void, that is not the goal here, okay?
It's to get you through.
Right.
And not,
and to help train and prepare Zach Wilson. This is the thing that that if Jordan Love, if he's able to come through things and going to have a decent year this year, then the sophomore season will kick in after they've got a year film on him. That's okay, no problem. You just work through it. But understanding, Aaron Rodgers' greatness, a portion of that it came from watching Brett Favre.
Absolutely. He sat on the beach for what, 3 years?
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But to prepare, Steve Young, great athlete, great, people say, well, he wasn't that good at court. Yes, he was. He's all pro. He's very good. All right, great athlete. But he also got to see how another great, athlete in his position prepared and makes them better. I know when I was younger, when I played against, or with and against the older guys, they, I competed against them, but they showed me how to play and how to prepare. That's why when I was coaching in high school, we had buddy systems. We had seniors linked up with freshmen or first-year sophomores, and we had a buddy system. The rules were the kid comes up to you, he needs to know where class is. Don't tell him 8th floor, take a left, and we only got a one-story building. You can't do that. That is not what this is. It's not a funny, give them a hard time thing. This is a mentorship. You've got to help guide, and this is your person. Mm-hmm. This is who you've been paired with. And what it did was it helped those kids at Madison, I'm just giving an example, prepare. All right, we did that in the 7th and 8th grade too, and you saw a team 5 years, 6 years later show up to East Lincoln and almost beat East Lincoln to go to the state championship with a bunch of boys that all the same kid at the school, all right? They beat Shelby at home. Madison County beat Shelby at home. All right? And I'm not saying it's because of that, but that's how you kind of help guide and mold and get kids to understand how to prepare and what it takes and get them out of their pond and get them in the big pond.
Mm-hmm. And I've told this story before. When I was in high school, the younger kids just got the crap beat out of them by the upperclassmen.
Yes.
Okay, that's the way it worked.
Right.
My biggest concern when I went to Clemson was, if it's this bad in high school, what in the world is it going to be like when we get down there?
Yeah.
And it was a totally
different world. Yeah, right.
Those linemen that I played under took you under their wing.
Yes, and helped develop.
One of the greatest things, Coach Ford was real big about when you hit the sled, 7-man sled, you led with the face mask. I would go to the weight room every day and get on the neck machine trying to get my neck straightened out.
Yes.
And after about 2 days, Joe Bostic played for the Cardinals, calls me over and says, let me show you how this works.
Right.
And he showed me how to make it look like my face mask was making contact and how to slide and get Coach Ford what he wanted.
Yes.
You didn't have that in high school.
No.
You didn't have that in high school.
It's beat the crap out of the next guy. And practices that are like that,
you don't get anything accomplished.
People that do things like that actually discourage competition and participation from the younger kids because they don't want to come in and get the crap beat out of them.
That's right.
Who would? All right? There's very few that enjoy that. It's like when I always hear, we're going to bring the JVs up to scrimmage. No. They're going to die.
Yeah.
They're going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be a lot more basketball players in this school than what we just had if we do this. That it's just.
Richie said that
got to be a little smarter.
Richie said that Carolina still ain't garnet and black, as far as he's concerned. They just said there's only one Carolina, and your daughter and son-in-law are alumni. The only thing I'd like to add to that, I could have went there and I turned them down.
Whoa.
Okay, and I could have went to Duke and turned them down because not only could I play, I could get in.
That's even
and
more
stay
impressive.
In. That was
more impressive.
They were probably the of all the programs that recruited me, they were the ones that were the most pissed because I wouldn't come there. It only took one trip down there to find out I didn't want to go to a big high school stadium. And when I was in school, we had a jock dorm, we had training table, we were separate, not at Duke.
No.
I said, where do the players stay? Well, they live in the quads. Quads? What's a quad? Well, they're beautiful buildings with ivy on the walls, and you join fraternities. And I'm like, pardon my French, I'm a GDI. That's just not happening. I wasn't into fraternities and sororities and all that kind of stuff. So that took it out pretty quick. Link said some of the biggest crowds in South Carolina were Summerville and North Charleston.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you who Summerville, I think, is either Summerville or Mount Pleasant. Their head coach that was very successful for a while was a guy named Chuck Reedy. Mm-hmm. Chuck Reedy was the running back coach at Clemson. When I was there.
Yep.
Chuck Reedy is the assistant coach that Jamie Pope knocked out during fall practice.
And how did he knock him out?
Hit him.
With what?
His fist.
That's incredible.
And they sent him home for 2 weeks to cool off, and he transferred to Gardner-Webb. Okay. Just saying. I'll move on. When it comes to Rodgers, his stint with the Jets didn't wait for it to take off. Milton said, I think Wilson has gained some knowledge from Rodgers.
No doubt.
And Richie, I did too. I saw it live. Rich said he watched the replay.
Oh, yeah.
And if you saw it, you could see it pop. And all it was, it rolled inside instead of outside. And it's just because the lineman just fell on him on the tackle. Wasn't anything cheap or nothing like that. Brian Huss, good morning to you, sir, and great news. He had some great news from some scans, and we're still praying and thinking about you, buddy. Richie said Dorman always has a big crowd. We made a trip to watch Dorman and Burns play one night, and it was a packed house. South Carolina football is for real. I'm just telling you. You go to Gaffney, it's small college because Limestone plays there.
Why do you think that is? Why do you
think
it's
take it
different?
so much serious?
Why do you think it's different?
They pay the coaches more.
They invest in it.
They have spring practice.
Yeah. So it's not an expense or this guy makes too much and we are going to go out and find the best person available to run and control this program instead of what a concept. Is that the difference in seeking in quality and value versus a standard across, and we're just going to pay the. Hey man, you get what you pay for.
Well, and a lot of things,
and so do the people that are supposed to be benefiting from it, which are the young people in their growth and development. Hey, guess what? If you set the bar low, guess where they're going to go? Hey, just saying, man.
And a lot of that stuff is because that's what we've always done.
Yeah, and that's the way you do it.
Let me take a break, and I want to tell you about a story I heard yesterday going back to Aaron Rodgers, and it has to do with betting, and I'll share that with you in a minute.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things. like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
In interest.
And we're back.
It's 2% more in interest.
We just solved another. We just solved another major crisis right here.
That.
It's okay. It's perfectly okay. We talk about stuff. Richie said his wife got a $10,000 a year raise when she moved down here and when they got married.
Yep.
Well,
marrying Richie was a bonus from the start.
That's exactly right.
That's, I tried. Mandy just doesn't. Sometimes I don't know.
Okay, my wife has had a rant, and I've missed it all. Let me back up here.
Boy, you better
Holy crap. They've been piling in.
Yes.
Somerville was Coach McKissick. Yeah, McKissick. One of the best high school coaches in the country.
Yeah.
I think he may still be on the top of the list, or he's at least in the top 5 with lifetime career wins. Lindsay said they lost a great hockey player called Patches. Max, I ain't even going to try that last name, to an Achilles injury that he re-injured almost immediately.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
And upon his return, big what if at the Canes, but now he's gone to Washington. Tyler said Somerville was John McKissick, right? More wins than anybody in the country in high school football. I want to say over 900. Does that sound right? Richie said, I think it's also that there are less schools, so the schools are much bigger in South Carolina.
Okay, so, less population, but you still have your small rural counties and, systems, right? Who said that, Richie? Yeah, he would know. So you go down, just for example, let's say I-77, and you drive off, get off the interstate at one of the few exits. And you drive for 10, 15 minutes, and then there it is. But their high school the way they travel and their high school attendance for football games is incredible. If you look on what used to be Football Friday Night, they would do Great Falls.
Oh my God, yeah.
Where do these people live?
Yeah,
where are they coming from? Man, it was incredible.
Link said McKissick's record was 6-21, 155, and 13 in high school. Now, let me get to my wife's rant.
Oh, God.
No difference in the way North Carolina pays their teachers. They don't invest in them, so the good ones are leaving, and they're bringing him and they're just bringing in warm bodies to teach our children. Sorry, rant over for me. Take a break.
Yeah.
Brian said, yes, sir, they invest in coaches. We have 2 former West Lincoln alumni down here at Burns. That makes him proud. Richie said it was a beautiful rant and right on the spot. My wife said, I saw Good Morning America show now that they're saying that because of the detriment to Aaron Rodgers that the NFL needs to look at the damage that turf fields can cause. Had nothing to do with turf field.
God,
that was that. All you got to do is just watch it. It had nothing to do with turf fields.
It's amazing. I saw, Kim is right. I saw something about that, and they are going to slam this narrative now that they can get on the back of something. I mean it's whoever does it's all these
hang on one second. You need to let me finish the rest of this because you're going to add to it. Now it took a whiny baby who set out and pouts everything. As my husband says, he hasn't had that playing the game conditioning of the body to get hurt before this ever comes up. Come on now. It is not the turf. If you watch it, his foot did not get caught. There are awkward positions that your body gets in. Now, the other side of it is when I tore this bicep tendon at the age of 50 playing co-ed volleyball, okay? Yeah. Sometimes the body's just not meant to take that kind of, a 20-year-old kid may have just had a sprain and wouldn't have been a tear. But a 40-year-old man, that's different.
My first knee injury, Appalachian State football field, playing Watauga High School, okay?
On the carpeted concrete.
Yep, concrete, incredible. Meniscus.
And that was
really
different.
Bad, okay? Rehab through it. It's my junior year in football. Don't get to play for like 3 weeks. Can't walk. Get back, finish the year, get back in, can play some. All right, missed the Hickory game. It was terrible. Anyway, come back a week before play through basketball season with it. All right? Play through baseball season and Legion ball. No breaks. We had like a week for Christmas because we didn't play any Christmas. That was it. From then, Lanny, all the way through the end of summer till a week before practice. I had my knee surgery a week before football practice my senior year. All right? You talking about, how it does. Then I had another knee injury on the very last play of the season in the first round of playoffs against Garinger. We were down 14-0. I dropped back to throw a ball with 3 seconds left to go to just, we don't quit. Just do what we can do, right? I get hit, surgery a week later on the other knee, all right? Missed the first part of basketball season. Don't play until after Christmas. Get through baseball, Legion ball, going to ECU, da-da-da-da-da. Playing in a flag football game with a bunch of guys at ECU. Complete tear of the right ACL. My point is these injuries are going to happen on whatever surface that you decide to compete on.
There are certain.
It is not that whether you get injured, all right, because you play, not because of what you play on. Okay, regardless of what the injury is, your body could not take what you were putting on it or someone else did at that time. All right, so it's not the surface; it's the ability to choose on what surface you're playing and decide if that's what you want to do, and then the consequences that go with it. So the ambulance chasing stuff needs to stop.
Well, here's the thing.
In all aspects of sports and society, it's got to stop. Okay, it's like this thing, we can't go anywhere and do anything because so-and-so said this or this goes on. No more. None. Yeah. None. No more. I've been quiet about it. That's over.
Well,
over.
The other side,
none.
And you and I,
zero.
You and I have no experience, I don't think, of actually playing on the new turf. But the new turf, in my opinion, just from being on it,
it's incredible.
It is more forgiving than turf because it won't move. When real turf is wet, dry, the conditions change. The weather conditions change how the turf reacts.
It can slide. This new stuff doesn't do the weather.
But the other side of it is with the new stuff, you can still turn and cut and twist because of the give, because of the little, the black stuff in it. I think it's the greatest invention ever when it comes to field turf for any outdoor sport. I mean, I really do. Now, the old stuff, when they used to put AstroTurf down, like when you were talking about at Appalachian, that was an asphalt base with a little bit of cushion and carpet. That's why you got carpet burns.
That much.
I mean,
and then it was awful when you fell down to tackle somebody at
and it was. There were problems with that, with catching.
But the new
turf is as realistic as it can get. But everybody's looking for an excuse instead of saying, hey,
maybe he's too old. Do this.
Maybe he's too old.
I know the risk involved.
Yeah.
I chose to do this.
And he says, I shall rise again, is what Roger says.
Tell me that I was going to do this, and now I got him, and I've lost in it.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
No.
Let's see. Bob Duckworth said maybe it was global warming that got Rogers. Phil Ayers, good morning, says, don't forget South Carolina, Georgia allows teams to practice way more than North Carolina.
They have true spring practice.
Oh, yeah. And Milton said, old men get hurt faster than young men. That's the whole thing. I mean, when it comes down to it.
The age of old is different for all of us.
That's
right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So, yeah.
Richie said, we had a big lunch at church for college kids. Got to talk to the two guys that are on the Lander soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
They both talked about how there are more injuries with turf than there is on natural field. They said when you step and turn on the turf field, it's almost like you can't make the turn a lot of times. They say it's more so than on natural grass. They also talk about that some of the games they played is very hot, and that's true.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. It's going to be hotter. Yeah. But, here's the deal. I don't know that they've ever truly developed a cleat for the new turf field they have out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know in high school those kids don't swap. They don't swap out cleats. They play what they play on the regular grass. Lindsay said she thought you were going to crush a can against your forehead there for a little bit. Richie said I was going for the slamming it on the ground and start pointing and screaming at the screen. Bob said Ford's a competitor. Really, Bob? Really? That would have been awesome with the can. I'll tell you, both of these men can be in a dead sleep and you be having a conversation and they just pop up, right up, and pick up with the conversation. That's because we're always there. She said, I'm sorry, I mean a nap. There's a difference between a nap and a deep sleep. I got my I didn't get deep sleep last night. I got a nap from 3 to 5. Because I had other responsibilities as a thriving adult.
You are definitely thriving.
Yeah, I'll be dragging by the end of the day. I can tell you that. It'll be
just
ugly.
Give me a call if it gets rough this evening.
It'll be ugly.
If you need
do want to mention this. Ready for October, the Braves have clinched the East again.
Yeah, so here we go, and here we go with you're kind of switching gears here, but here we go with playoff structure baseball. And is your team built to withstand playoff? Some teams
and Atlanta was really bad about that in the Bobby Cox era.
Right. So they were structured to win a lot of games, but it was really tough to win a series. And Bob used to come out and watch some Legion games when I was coaching back in the day, because he's cheered up on NC Preps. And, Bob, it was really interesting, like in the 09, 10, and 11 teams I had at Hickory Legion, those were teams that were built to win series more than individual games. But when those kids had graduated out and I had a younger group, we actually won the league and only lost 1 or 2 games during the regular season. But because of our youth and inexperience, we lost in the second and third, I believe the third round. Those 2 seasons, not because our kids weren't great players, but it was such a different structure, and they weren't really built to win a series as much as they were. We could manipulate individual games with kids like Davis Hanvey and
certain talent
Phillip
would let
Carroll.
you do that.
Yeah, because of the dynamic athleticism those kids had. You could manipulate an individual game at the last point, but. And one might say, and fairly say, well, why can't you do that in playoff ball? Well, the pitching situation is drastically different, or it used to be, when you had to go 9 innings. They don't do that anymore. That's why I don't coach it. But because they changed baseball, American Legion, they play different style now and let everybody have a team, but that's another story. So it was just baseball and manipulative tactics to win games with that group, which was incredible because they were so athletic. But to build a championship-style team, the pitching staff had to be a little different than it was like the previous couple years when they had the Tyler Pools, the Jacob Holes, the Jeremy Knowles, tremendous power arms that were starters.
But when you talk about like that, you don't have as much control over that team as you do like from the college level and the pro level. And to me, okay, the NBA has been killed by just get me to make the top 8 at the end of the year. College basketball is not what it used to be in the regular season because I just got to get to the big dance. So
college football, I'm recruiting the next kid to have a mega team this year. I don't care about building anything.
Right. So
people are going to go away from that, by the way.
So to me,
anyway.
I understand, but there's a fine line in building that team to last versus building that team to get me through the championship run. It's a mix. You can't just be all in to win games, and you can't be all in to win the series or win through the playoffs.
But that is the mindset of the people that are in charge. Right. They're either one or the other.
But they make so much more money on the end results.
Right. So money is always going to be a factor in pro sports and in college and
now it is too.
And to a degree, high school. Depending on where you are. I heard a coach tell me one time, "Well, I've won this many games; they're never going to fire me." Whoa, I don't know. You work at a public high school. When you hear the words "never," that's never going to happen or that can't happen. I would bet.
Ask Gene Chizik.
Well, yeah, sure.
Ask Ed Orgeron.
And this is
how
guy,
quickly you forget those national
won a ton of games down in the eastern part of the state.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hearing those words, "this will never happen" or "this person's never done this," that's the red flag. And, my whole thing with the growth and development of kids, and this is going to sound terrible, but this is based off personal experience. I really have an issue with people that don't have a lot of life experience, at present company included when I started teaching, of trying to help mold and educate younger people because I don't have individual experiences in life to help shape them. I just have opinions because that's what I'm indoctrinated with when I go to school, right? I'm not allowed to think for myself. I'm told what to think. And then I portray those same. Now, I'm not accusing all teachers of that. Just follow what I'm saying. I don't think – I just – it's just one of those things that there's many good young teachers, but I think as a whole it's better to have – it's just like coaching. I started at 21, 22 years old as a head coach. It wasn't that I couldn't do it, but was I ready in the way that I acted, the way that I handled situations, wanting to fight every time that something didn't go our way, wanting to go out there and, fuss with an umpire because we didn't get a call. Where when you get older, you're able to process a little more based on those experiences and then teach your kids to be proactive instead of reactionary. I mean, our guys at Maiden, because of me being young, in some situations, Lenny, man, they ready to fight every day.
Yeah. But
and I look back on them like, I still got great relationships with the kids, but today if I coach that, I see many things that I may have handled and done differently for their benefit, not what I'm saying, not mine. But it takes older experience.
I think it's really hard to be an effective head coach if you say this all the time. You use some kind of chart where you talk about the growth steps.
Yes,
you can't get to here unless you've hit all these. Same thing with coaching. It's hard to be a head coach if you haven't been an assistant and been a coordinator and learn from people. Even if the people you were learning for didn't know their butt from a hole in the ground because you learned what not to do. It's just as important.
That's it.
It's just as important, like you say about failing. It's just as important to learn what not to do as it is to learn what to do because that forms you with how you handle everything.
My college baseball coach, in the short time that I was with him, showed me more about how I didn't want to be than how I wanted to be. Now, am I criticizing him? That's not my intent. It may sound like that.
But he still taught you.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm grateful. Whether the experience at that time was good or bad, I'm grateful for that and for him. because it helped mold me over a long time, of course, to, get to the point where I understand and address the matters most important to the people I'm serving.
Right.
Right. All right. Then the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, best players play, fastest players play.
Not always on my team.
I think you can win games doing that. But I think from a championship style perspective that you can't build your team appropriately if you don't have people that do their friggin' job. That's what I want on the back of the shirt. Do your job.
But the other side is, if you've got a kid here in talent that is kind of maxed out, and you've got a kid here that's under him, but you feel like his max point is here, you want this kid to play. Because he's going to take you to another level.
Yes.
He's going to take you to another level.
And the most disciplined kid, even if you got a major athletic kid here that hardly ever comes to practice or doesn't practice hard, but it's really fast and may make a great play, and everybody go, wow. But you got this kid here that's not near as fast or athletic, but is in the place he's supposed to be every time. Now you can use manipulative tactics and other things, especially defensively, to construct your defense to be able to make things work for the benefit of – the unit, which then gets the ball back and defends the goal.
Yeah.
Again, people.
And there's no recipe to this.
No. It's what it is through a lot of failure.
Combination.
You have a lot of failure on how you handle things and how you construct things before you have that aha moment that says, wait a minute. If I focus on quality and value and limit the amount of people, not just let everybody come in and do it. Say, if you don't meet these metrics, you can't come do this. Mm-hmm. This is what we're about. Joe Glass at Hickory sets a very good standard, all right? Not only as a man, but as a coach for his program and the players. And they know what to expect. We have many good coaches in our area that do that. Mm-hmm. Joe's just a great example of being able to come in and set the bar high. And what happens is people can't say, well, he did this to this group of kids or he did that, because the metrics line up to where you say, this guy's doing the right thing for the right reasons. He's not letting everybody come out here or stay out here. Everybody's welcome to come try. But it's not something that you have to earn. It's something you have to live up to.
Yeah.
And that is why Hickory High is on a trajectory like this with 2 or 3 very good quarterbacks in that school, because they know they're going to get opportunities and to be able to produce based on the standard that is set there, all right? And I'm just talking quarterback. Any player, all right, they know their success rate is going to be much greater. Therefore, the experience is going to be better because it's consistent, it's measurable, all right? It's time sensitive because you only have this little window of time that you can do these things, right? As a high school player, and it closes every year. 4 panes, one of them goes out every year, and then the window's shut. There's a lot of good stuff going on. When I talk about this or that, I'm not negative Nanny. What I'm saying is, let's keep setting the bar a little higher, because the people that can't take it will fall out. Mm-hmm. And who's going to benefit from a very high standard? Our young people. And so then, therefore, in their life, they'll want to set the standard high because they've seen how it benefited them and the people around them. And then all of a sudden, everybody wins. When your football team is playing well, your community wins because it is a gathering point. Mm-hmm. All right? If your football team has a lot of wins, that's great. But there's a difference between a lot of wins and then the quality of what's being done. And that's where the focus has to be. East Burke High School is a great example with Derek Miner of a program that may be 50-50 in a year, 1 win over, 1 win under. But I got to tell you, with the experience, and you need to follow East Burke football if you don't, and the things that Derek does with his kids. And I went to East Burke. I have not been back, maybe to a game or two or coached a time or two, but and just stand back now, I can be objective about it and say, how's things going. It's incredible what he is doing and the way he goes about doing it and the experience that the players have. They may be 50-50. Some of that is, talent-based. Some of it's this, some of it's that, who they're playing against, tough league, whatever. But he sets the standard, and the kids have to give up and give presentations and talk about this and talk about that. They do community things. They do, helping. It's just you got to set the bar a little higher each year, and not dismiss things because people win games.
And it can't just be about the game.
And that's what I'm saying. It's got to be about the people you're serving.
There's two big Q words in there, and it's where you put your emphasis on. Is it quantity or quality? Mine's always going to be on quality. Let me give you the Braves things. The Braves have 16 to go. They clinched in 146 games at 96-50. That's their 26th, 26th division title, 2 more than the Dodgers and the Yankees. It's the division title was the Braves' 23rd in the divisional era since 1969, most by any team. Now, here's the other thing to keep your eye on. We talked about the home runs.
Yeah.
If they could average 2 per game, that would be 32. They shattered the record. So we'll have to see what happens.
The problem is they don't need to think about it. They should go up and keep playing.
Well, you can't.
And that's hard to do.
But the other thing is you can't cut back.
No, you don't get conservative.
You can't get
Man,
conservative.
get up there and swing hard in case you hit it.
That's right.
You know?
All right, we're out of here. Have a good day.